Hello, everyone. We are live. Welcome. And I just want to make sure that everyone is seeing this because we are using our webinar feature. And so we are streaming in a couple of different groups. And so Yvette gets to be tech behind the scenes today while we do this amazing workshop. For those of you guys that signed up through the StreamYard link, a couple of housekeeping things. You did receive the worksheets for today. If you are just watching and you're like, oh my God, I don't have worksheets, the link is in the comment box here. If you still don't have it, don't worry, message us, we'll email it later. It's really all for you guys to follow us with, and it's for you to take home and do later. So it's saying that we may have a possible issue on Facebook because why wouldn't we? So give us 1 second.
Oh my God, I love this.
Technology. Okay, yep, it did say that we are not live, so hold on 2 seconds. Are you seeing it in the group?
Nope, not yet. I see your last post.
Yep.
I see the amazing worksheets.
Okay. Hold on. Please hold.
Okay, well, everybody's waiting for those as Gio's doing this. I am super excited. I just saw some things on the side, and shout out to our amazing, lovely duo that, gosh, what is the name of their podcast? Wake Up and Dream.
Yes.
Yep. They just celebrated 2 years, which, one, congratulations, I love that. Secondly, and there goes Giovanna, she's fixing something, that I can't believe it's been 2 years. Like, part of me was like, that's so exciting. And then the other part of me went, where's time flying? Which just means, I first want to say before we get going, because I know Gio's going to go so quickly with the information she's sharing. I am very thankful that Brianna started this group and that there's some way for all of us to stay connected and be able to encourage each other with everything that's going on in our lives. So to be able to see the 2 years and to be able to hear what everybody else is doing and how their lives are going is great. So thank you, Brianna, for even putting all this together. And that I feel like the word community and whatever word you want to attach to it, the word that comes to my mind is sisterhood. And sisterhood is really just someone who you have a common denominator or something that you share. And obviously we all share a common denominator, becoming her. And now we're all moving forward in our businesses and our lives. So the fact that we're all here together is amazing. And Gio, did you get the set going?
Well, it looks like Brianna can see us, so that means that's good. I went back out and checked, and you guys are interacting, so I'm guessing that it is working. And if it's not, then guess what? No worries. We will put the replay in because I want to make sure that everyone gets this. And then Brianna, if you want, I can share this right now. And then you can put this in your, there we go. And that's going to go directly here to us. So I don't know what happened. It said that it was going live and it's not. But either way, we're here. And like I said, since we're doing it on a webinar feature, this is a perfect example of what can happen during your live and during your webinar. So welcome, ladies. We are here. Brianna did an amazing job at doing a survey like a month ago on what you guys wanted us to share with you today. So because we do love our relationship with time, we want to make sure that we get everything that we can today for you. So I am going to share our PDF with you guys, and then you guys have your own worksheet that you can follow along with. And at any time, if you have any questions, you can comment here. And if you need to comment on Facebook, then Yvette can do it on Facebook. So for those of you guys who don't know us, just real quick, I want to go through who we are, what we do. We are relationship coaches, and not relationship like with your love life. I mean, we can go there, but the main thing for us is relationship with you, relationship with time, relationship with money, relationship with business, and the most important thing, oh, Lori is saying that it does not work. Okay, Lori, give us 2 seconds, but you're watching us, so Maybe it's the link for the worksheet. Okay, got it.
And here's the thing too, Gio, it's not coming on Facebook, but it's coming up once you sign into the platform, however they're connecting the two. So I had to sign into the platform. It's not live on Facebook.
Okay, I see what you're saying. So Lori, I promise you, we will email that to you right now. So don't worry. We will send you an email just for you guys to work through with us. And there's reflection areas, so it'll make sense when you get the worksheets. But thank you, ladies. Like I said, relationship with you is the most important. That's where we start. You are your greatest asset. This is the foundation. And this is really what at the core we do, because we can't do any of these other relationships except if we don't start with us. So today we're motivation and maintaining focus. But before we do that, Yvette, I'm going to do this real quick because I want people to see you if they just jumped on. Hold on one second. Just introduce yourself. Say hi.
Hi, everybody. I know you heard my voice. I'm so excited to be here and see everybody and all the comments, and I'll be behind stage. And I'll be jumping in to chime in to give a couple comments, but we really don't have a lot of time. So Gio's going to rock and roll and give you all this information. But I'm so glad to be here. I love you all.
Well, we are definitely the definition of like life-work balance. We'd like to give this to you guys beforehand just because everyone says work-life balance. At YGC, in our world, we are all about valuing needs and relationships before work, recognizing that a fulfilling personal life affects your personal success. So the more you can start thinking about life-work balance and going with us on this is going to be great for you and your life and all the other relationships in your life. So do you want to read can you see this or no? Or should I read everything?
Go for it right now because I'm sending Lori the PDF.
Perfect. So relationship, the way in which two or more concepts, objects, or people are connected, the state of being connected. So today we're going to talk about the relationship with your business and how you stay connected to your business and how you stay motivated to your business. This is what we trademarked. We teach the trifecta back to the self, time, and money. You guys are at the top of the pyramid. There's no other relationship that you can work on unless you start with you first. And this is the beautiful way that it ripple effects to everything else in your life. So again, we're visual people. We want you to see how it works. When at the core, you begin with you every single day, go to bed thinking of you every single day, I promise you that all these other relationships are going to be the ripple effect. We tend to start with family and friends and community and kids and business. Well, what happens when we do all that? We leave ourselves for last. And this pyramid teaches us how to do it first. So let's discuss relationships in your life, because I can't talk about the business if we don't talk about all the other things that you have going on. For those of you guys who've been through a workshop with us or a webinar with us, you know that Gio hates this slide. Absolutely hate it. This used to be Yvette and I can't even remember when this used to be Yvette and I. And I will tell you, there are days, not seasons anymore. There are days where we can feel that way. But we have completely changed our mindset. We've revolved around starting the day with us, ending the day with us. But this is the day in, day out of what we do as women. Like literally the copy and paste life. We're always on the hamster wheel. We're feeling like everything's catching on fire. And literally these are all the relationships: work, social media, your phone, the kids, family, working out, health, wealth, money mindset, all of these, right? So this is real life. Like we can't get away from it. And I think this is why we keep on using the slide. After like 3 or 4 years of this slide creation, it's still in our brand. It's still part of our business, because the goal is this. And obviously today in this little mini workshop series, we won't be able to get you here, but we're hoping to get one of the relationships in your life, which is your business, or it could be the business that you're starting, or the career that you're in, or the job that you're in. We're hoping to make you feel like this. So I just want to go back because visuals are so important. This is typically how we feel. And I promise you, if Yvette and I can get to this, we can slowly but surely get you to this. So I want to hear some stuff in the comments, because y'all went like radio silent. Y'all started yes and then no. So do you guys feel good? This is today. So the goal today, 3 things. I'm going to keep it clear and simple. Maintaining motivation and focus. We're going to set clear goals. And guys, I know y'all know about goal setting, but we're going to just, again, simplify the process. We're going to create support systems. We love talking about support systems, and prioritizing self-care. And that means prioritizing you. I should have just changed that and put a cross out on that and just put prioritizing you. So if anything out of today, you come first. Thank you. Okay, perfect. Lori's like, yes. Okay. So let's reflect first. If you guys got the worksheets, and it's okay if you didn't, it's a reflection time. So I'm gonna pause because Geo goes a million miles an hour. But I want you guys, yes, you're like, yes. But I want you guys to reflect. And it's gonna be different for everyone. Most of you are starting a business or in a business, have been in a business for the last couple of years, are in that entrepreneurial journey. Some of you guys are maybe working a full-time job and starting your business. Some of you guys are transitioning. But what inspired you to be an entrepreneur or a business owner? That's the number one thing. And again, this is just for you to follow along with us. Put time in your schedule to watch the replay and to go back and answer these questions like with time. What are your proudest accomplishments in your business so far? If you've watched our podcast, we've been doing it for a very long time every week. One of the things that we reflected on last year was enjoying all the things, the little things. Yvette and I remember we talked about this. I think we had like 37 speaking engagements last year. And every time it was, okay, what's next? What's next? Like those are huge accomplishments that sometimes we forget. If it's writing a chapter in your book, if it's working only like the 4 hours that you said you were going to work the day, make sure that you're writing down your accomplishments and what you're proud of yourself so far. And the last thing is, what challenges have you faced along the way? Because that happens. And you know, in the YGC world, challenges mean growth. That's perfect. You want to have those challenges. You want to be able to fall on your face sometimes, because raise your hand, Yvette and I, how many times have we just had to do it again? Like, right, we had to go through those seasons. We'd had to go through those challenges. We'd have to go through some of the things that we were like, oh my God, how did that happen? Like tech challenges every time. And we just keep on going and we overcome them. So that's the reflection part of our first topic today. So setting clear goals. And I want to make sure you guys are with me. So make sure you guys are in the comments. I want to hear reflections as we're going. Like, this is the point. I want to hear from you guys. And if this is making sense, if things are already coming up, share with us. So defining goals, super easy, short-term, long-term. But if we don't set them on paper and we don't talk about them and we don't look at them and we don't reassess them, they don't happen. Yvette and I, when we're coaching, how many times do we ask these questions? Like, what's your goal for this month? What's your goal for the next 6 months? What's your goal for the year? Most of our clients cannot answer that question. So when you're doing these other like assessments, you're like, what's your next 5-year goal? And what's going to happen in 10 years? Honestly, you're not going to be able to even answer those questions if you don't even know what you want by the end of this month. So short term, start there, because as you start to hit those short term goals, the long term will seem a lot easier. And then you got to break them down little by little, because I promise you, again, if you're not seeing this and you're not actually writing them, going back, and we're going to talk a little bit about routine and checking in with your progress. If you're actually doing it, are you time blocking and allowing the right amount of time for these goals? If you don't go back and do self-reflection and reassess and change your time blocking, your schedule throughout the seasons, it's just not going to work. And you're going to feel like that woman in that slide. I hear people all the time, like, I'm working in my business. I'm working 60 hours a week. I'm on social media. I'm doing everything that I'm supposed to be doing, but they've never recapped their day. They've never time blocked. They've never actually put in, like, what does admin mean? What does social media mean? What does following up with clients mean? Some of our clients don't even follow up with clients. So really, really important to break it down into small chunks. And like I said earlier, regularly assess and adjust your goals to stay on track. And you have to do that throughout the seasons. If you have kids, don't have kids, if you travel, if you leave for the holidays, if you want to take off, that's one of the things that Yvette and I do. We've been able to take off so much more time now in our business without having to worry, stress out, or things getting done. And in our previous careers, that wasn't even part of our mindset. Scheduling 2 or 3 weeks off, not working at the end of the holidays, not working for the holidays, coming into the new year fresh, refreshed, and reset. Like, that's everyone's dream. And instead we start the new year with goals and weight and this and that. And it's so, so stressful. So this is why today we wanted to talking about setting clear goals and making them short, and going back and reassessing. Lori's saying that I needed to get better about time blocking and following up with clients. Girl, you are not the only one. The process is intense. And when people hear all the things you have to do to follow up with clients, that's its own workshop. I feel like people, like, their mouth is on the floor. Yvette and are like, I promise you, if you don't, by not doing this step, you're hurting your business. Yes, Susan, perfect. I love that you're on. I'm gonna see you later. Reassess and adjust. We did it. We're still doing it. We're in literally, I want to say, year 3 of like full mode of YGC. And Yvette can say something here too. Like,
Yeah, can you hear me?
yeah, we can totally hear you.
Okay. Yeah, I did want to jump in. That's why I was like, I wanted to make sure you saw the comments, and then I did want to jump in. Okay, I love this. I'm just going to be honest. I'm a to-do list person. I love the fact that everything is like, do this, do this, do this, do this. I want to remind people who've already been through the Becoming Her and people who may want to go through the Becoming Her, a kind reminder that this all goes back to our thoughts and our feelings, which truly creates our actions, which truly, when you look at this list, even for like Lori, I get it, man, you sit down and you're like, I don't want to do this. This is like so difficult. It's a hurdle to jump over. Go back to the beginning. Your goal is what you're shooting for, but your motivation is the magic that helps you move towards that goal. So I know for myself, whenever I'm like, oh my God, whatever it is, right? You're just frustrated. I remind myself, what am I working towards? What is the end goal for me? Because then I go, you know what? That end goal isn't going to happen unless I take the little steps and I see the vision and I know what I'm supposed to do. It becomes so much easier. And somewhere in there, it shifts from being almost like that hamster wheel where it's just festering in our head to like this piece comes over like, you know what? This isn't such an obstacle, or this isn't so frustrating, because now I do want to do this, because I do want to reach the end goal of what I'm really working towards. So just a kind reminder that yes, this is kind of a list, but it goes back to your personal motivation as to the why you're doing what you do. And of course, we're here to talk about that because sometimes the why changes, which is reality, or it gets off track and you kind of have to reel yourself back into the real true motivation of what you're doing.
Oh my God, I love it. Tanika, thanks for chiming in too. She says, I like to recap the daily to give the to-do list will give me anxiety. It goes hand in hand. And we'll, again, this is like a short 45-minute workshop for you guys because we want to be able to answer questions. But the whole reason we have this like worksheet for you guys is because it goes back to reflecting. Like the first things that we talked about was, why are you doing what you're doing? Why did you become an entrepreneur? We've all gone through the seasons. We worked full-time, worked our business part-time. Then we were working 2 businesses part-time. Then we were like, it's time to let go of the business so we can really do what we want full-time. And we've never looked back. And again, we have just meetings with each other on like, what's our purpose? What's our goals? Are we in alignment? Like Susan said earlier, you have to readjust and reassess, not just your schedule and like the time frames of what you want to truly do, but realigning and reassessing your goals and your vision, because sometimes you get into something thinking that that's what you wanted to do, and it's just one step to get you closer to what you're supposed to do. So before we get to step 2, again, I'm going to go back to this slide because I did reflection first, because when you go back and spend time on you and you do the worksheets, you need to reflect before you go through setting clear goals. And then I just, again, quick examples of like what goal setting can be. A lot of us have gone through workshops and coaching on like now goals and setting goals, realistic goals. But this was just, again, super easy. What is your ultimate business goal? Because we're talking about business today, for the next 6 months. That's it. Just focus on that. And if that's too hard, then just do 1 month. What do you want to get done in the month of May? Not April, because we're in April. So what's your goal for the month of May? Okay, so we're going to go to step 2. And before we go to step 2, we're going to talk about our reflection here. So how do you envision the growth and success of your business in the next year? Now, this is just envisioning. These aren't goals. So we're going to a next section. What do you envision in the next year and in the next 5 years? This is what we call like our milestones, or we also call these our future goals. but we want it like, what's the feeling? What does it look like? What does it feel like? And for most of us, it's working less, doing more for us. And doing more for us, we can give more back to our community, to our families, to our kids, whatever season in life you're in. But that's normally the goal. It's time, freedom, flexibility, and most of us not having a boss, right? So you need to sit down, and this is where we do vision boards. I don't have mine here. I have a couple in the back, but vision boards are super important. Like, what do you want to happen in the next 6 months, in the next year, and then in 5 years from now? How do you see yourself, and how do you feel? Do more of what you love. Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna challenge Lori though. That's such a broad term, right? Like if I said, "Oh my God, I'm gonna do what I love," well, does Yvette like skiing? Does Yvette like to jump in a lake? Does Yvette like to climb a tree? Be more specific, because that'll encourage you, especially if you have it by like the next time it's a hurdle, you have it. You're like, if you have all those things listed of what you love, then you read it and you go, "Yeah, this is why I'm doing what I'm doing." That's the very list. So make it very specific.
Yes. Do more what you love. Apparently, I love pickleball, and I didn't know that until last week. So I'm gonna be doing more pickleball. Very specific. Just had to throw that in there. And then the next reflection is, what steps can you take to align your goals with values and vision for your business? So same thing. Like, what are you doing to make sure you get there? So many people are like, I want this, I want to get here. I promise you, you know what the answer is. I can just give you the answer. You're not spending enough time on you. And you're blaming everything else on not enough time and not enough money, which is why we coach women on self, time, money. You can't have a great money mindset without taking care of yourself. You can't have a great money mindset without knowing how to utilize and how much your time is worth. It doesn't work the other way. I promise. So that's the reflection piece of number 2, creating a support system. And if you get, most of you guys on live right now know us, like really know us, either from in person or from online, from previous groups. But this, for your business, literally is gold. Most people, and Yvette and I can raise our hands, in our previous careers thought we can do it alone. Oh yeah, we're badasses. We can be moms, we can be awesome friends, we can do all the things in our community, and we can work like 50 hours, 60 hours in our business, and we can have it all and do it all. Oof. We learned like that did not happen. So what does that mean in your business? Because it can mean 2 different things for personal and business. And today we're really talking about your business. But surround yourself with positive and supportive individuals. It's hard when you grow, and when you keep growing and investing in yourself. A lot of the people in your circles, even on your teams, they're not wanting to do that, and they suck your energy. So this is a hard thing to do, but I promise you, if you think of it as it was a great friendship, it was a great team member, it was a great coworker, it was a great career, it was a great job, but it's time for me to move on and have a happy, clean ending mindset with that. And that can be with your partner. Even with your kids, you have to have these boundaries and set clear expectations. It's okay to end those and open yourself up for better team members, for a better job, for starting your business, for better relationships in your life, which leads us into networking. Because we are queens. I was a queen, and then I gave my crown to Yvette, and now we're both queens in networking, and we do so much in person. Like, we have a whole episode. We're part of 8 different communities. All of them, except for one, are in person. We have one online community that we just started networking in last year. And when I say we put so much time and energy and love and into the women, and we pour into those women, and they give us so much in return, and we're growing and we're facing all these challenges every single day, I know that our business is where it is because of the networking. And because not only are we mentors for other people, that's where we find our mentors, that's where we get advice, and that's where we help each other grow our businesses, like truly. Not a here's my business card, here's my referral, like genuine connections and relationships with like-minded women, which is also why we started our own community years ago, and it's growing online and in person, and we meet with these beautiful women once a month. So we hear it, and Yvette can chime in too. Nobody likes that word. I don't know why. It's kind of like budget. Like, budget's a good word if you think of it. Time is a great word if you think of it, but networking is beautiful, and it's all in where you go and how you do it. So I'm going to stop here because I know this is super important.
Okay, I was just going to add one little thing. It's not the amount of networking, it's the quality of networking. And we do have some podcasts, we've talked about this and information we can give you, because it's not about, oh my gosh, go join 10 groups, but the strategy of finding the groups, because networking really becomes a couple things. It is that you're putting your business out there, but this is and can be your support system where you start to build relationships. So if you go to a networking group that does not feel like it's in alignment with you, that's okay, because there's going to be another networking group out there that is aligned with you, that's just waiting for you to arrive and for you to find them. So this isn't about quantity as much as it is about quality, and making sure that you're able to give what your superpower is, and you're also to receive something as well, because it'll be a win-win and you won't get frustrated.
We love that. And Susan, we need more connections in the networks that you're in, because you're in beautiful networks. And I also tell people, and we like Yvette said, we have a podcast on this, on like how to network and what's the true thing. It's like dating. Go try the groups, figure it out. We're gonna give you the skinny here, and then whatever you feel is you're giving and you're receiving, because it's not just about giving. That's where you need to stay. And where can you see yourself grow? So one of the questions we had before, I'm going to go back because it kind of ties into this. Like, how do you envision the growth and success for your business in the next year? That is joining networking communities. That's going to grow your business organically if it's in alignment, if it's the women that you want to network with, and it's not just the here's my business card, this is what I do. So important, and it's hard to find, but I promise you it's crazy when you like open it up and you're like, you know what, I'm just going to go see, like dating. I'm just going to go date a few people, see how it works, give it time, not rush it, not be like, oh, we've already had 3 dates, so we, like need to put our relationship on. I haven't dated in a long time, but I'm just going there. You put our relationship public. Like, it's not about that. Go. Most of these groups you can go 2 times, 3 times. It may take you 6 months to a year to figure out what groups to join, because it's money. Like, it's not free. Some of them are. Like if you're in a philanthropy group or something like that. But spend the time courting your groups and then make the decision.
I
Brianna,
want to respond to Brianna's comment, because I think it happens a lot. We are very fortunate here in Houston that we have a very thriving networking community. We absolutely understand that some people live in areas that this is not a thing. So number one, there are national networking groups that meet everywhere across the country. A lot of those also are online. So yes, do your research to see what's actually available online for you. And then 2, I was just going to say, Brianna, and this is for everybody who's going to listen to the replay again, the group that you just created is an amazing source of a support system, and for people to be, everybody's already like-minded and everybody's going in the right direction. This group alone has already been set up. This could be a feeding frenzy of support and encouragement for each other. I know you guys nobody's like going to be physically together, but this is and can be a huge resource for everybody coming together to feel supported.
yes, and this isn't the first time we've heard this. And Yvette and I need to kind of do our due diligence too, because it's a problem that's not just with, I mean, Houston does have some great groups, but it's a problem for a lot of people. So I think we're going to just do a quick, like 1-step, like 1-pager of like how to find networking groups in your area. Because it's it's time consuming, and we know that. Brianna, we appreciate us being in your group, but we know just having our own community, and we do get together once a month in person, but we have the access for our clients who are not in Houston to have an online community off of Facebook, to be able to connect. And the best part is when we see those clients come to our in-person events, like our retreats and our conferences. So we will put that together, because this is not the first time. We will have that for everyone on this call and the replay, and then we'll have it as a tool on our website, because I think it's important on just like who to research, where to research. And sometimes it may take some driving, and that's okay. It may be worth the 45 minutes outside of your city to go meet up with that group. And if not, then we can help you with our online community, and we can also support with Brianna's online community too, because there is so many like-minded people out there, and especially women. But I promise you, if we give you the steps 1, 2, 3, we can help you find something in your area or close to. All right. So just to piggyback on that, we did say if you can't find it in person, we know the power of in person, and we know that it's hard if especially you haven't networked ever in person, or if you haven't done it in a really long time, you investing in yourself and getting those skills and going back out there and putting yourself out there and meeting women, like you are not doing the service to the other person out there. Like if I didn't meet Brianna ever, like we would not be here. So we may have been uncomfortable years ago, but 3 years ago, 4 years ago when we met, and like we're out of our comfort zones and we went to Nashville and we did all these things, but that's what it took, right? Investing in yourself, if that's time or money, but it starts with you. So if you can't find it in person, find it online and we can help you with that. Here we go. I know you're laughing, but that's the truth. You know, that's how we met. So a quick example, list the names of individuals who inspire you and motivate you in their entrepreneurial journey. And you may already know somebody that has a networking group. I get online and we're going to help you find the ones in person. So you have to take the time to go in there and be part of it. Because I think that's the hardest part. Yvette and I know that too. It's like, okay, we can join the group, but is it in our calendar? Did we put it as a recurring event? Are we going every single month in person? Are we going every single month online? And if you don't do that consistently and you don't show up for yourself, other people aren't going to show up either. So again, super important that you're making the time and it's in your schedule and is in alignment with what you're doing. Okay, before we get to the last part, we're doing great on time. Woo, I love it. Let's reflect on our last topic. So what are your strengths as an entrepreneur or business owner? This is hard. We did this at our retreat just for listing words that describe you. And so I'm going to just say, what are your, obviously, if you're an entrepreneur or you're a business owner or you're starting your business, you have strengths. So what are they? In what areas do you feel you can improve or seek additional support? We're business partners. We do not have the same strengths. Like we may overlap in a few things, but we do not. So we went through this exercise and we're like, okay, what can you do? And sometimes it's just about delegating and supporting each other within our own roles and learning those things. And if some of our clients are on, you're going to have to get out of the comfort zone. And if you don't ask for the help, or you're not helping yourself by a workshop, a coaching program, a certification, and getting better in the areas that you do not like, you're not going to get to the next phase in your business. You're not going to really get into the next phase in your life. So you need to know what those things are and what are your challenges, what opportunities do you have, and how can you find support? And then how can you leverage your strengths to overcome your challenges and achieve your goals? This is 3 areas of reflection. You're not going to be able to answer those right now, but go back because these are super important. And if anything, this whole workshop is about you, your time, what you're doing for your business in order to make money. So see how it's like time, money.
I think that those 3 questions alone can be a hurdle. That alone can freeze you in yourself just to go, I don't even know what I'm doing. Because then you start telling yourself those stories of, but if I only knew this better, instead of reminding yourself. And sometimes it's hard to put down on paper too, because it's hard for us to actually go over the hurdle of, I actually can write this down and give myself a pat on the back that I'm really good at this. Yeah, because no one's going around telling you that, but we need to be telling ourselves that. But this alone can be a hurdle. But if you already know that these 3 questions are a hurdle, this is where the true work begins.
Yes, and it starts with your strengths. Like this is not like, oh, what are you bad at? This is again the reflection of like we forget. Just like 2 reflections ago, it was like what I can't go. I'm gonna go back in a minute, but it's about you. Like what do you? Why did you start your business? What are you great at? And focus that. I know what I'm good at. Yvette knows what she's good at. We pour our heart and soul into the business with what we're good at. And there are things we don't like. And we hire it, we contract it. The follow-up process is all like, that was a whole, let it go, let somebody else put it, because I'm like, why are we spending the time on something that we both don't like to do? And it's been like, it was time and it was money. But now we don't even have to think about it. So that's like, how can you leverage your strengths, use what you're good at and do, and then how can you help with your challenges and your weaknesses? Hire coach, hire VA, you may have to carve out time to learn things, but it's super important. Brianna is saying, here we go. Successful people focus on what they're really good at and delegate to the rest. Amen. Let's just turn it off here. We're done. All right. So the last one, And I should have changed it at the beginning. It is the relationship with yourself, but because we're talking about the business, it is self-care and relationship with self. I've seen this. We were doing this. You wake up in the morning, you don't even like sometimes going to the bathroom. You just wake up in the morning, you get on your phone, check the emails, the text message, the DMs, you're running into the kitchen, you're grabbing your coffee, still on your phone, and the next thing you know, you're running late to who knows what because it was never on the schedule and you didn't work out, you didn't, do your daily messaging, you didn't do your now goal, you didn't do your worksheets. Like, you got to start with you. I promise it's the hardest thing ever. Just that, like, if you can leave today with doing one thing, you have to start the day with you. And if you can end it, Tanika said that earlier. If you can recap your day, it was probably the best thing that I ever did for the business. I started with the business because before we were relationship coaches, we were doing business. But when I started doing it for myself, it was game changing. Because what I thought I was doing during the day, especially when we had a full-time business and we were running a business, side business, and we had a podcast, I would just recap my day real quick. And I'm like, I did nothing that I was supposed to. Or like what I call the non-productive activities. Everything that I'm like, none of this is making me money. None of this is moving me closer to my goals. None of this is making me feel like I want to be a business owner. So the more time I took on recapping, then I would adjust the days, and then I would adjust the weeks, then I would adjust the months, and then I would adjust the year. And then we were able to create life work balance. But it took time. And then schedule regular breaks to rest and recharge. And that's not just throughout your day. Time blocking. I think Lori was talking about time blocking earlier. Time blocking is huge. You have to. Most people cannot work more than 9 increments. It's just not productive. So you got to schedule those breaks, but also schedule them every month, every quarter, and every year. And when we teach that, when we do our calendar integrity class, our workshop, it's 3 hours, but we map out a whole year of your life. And for people going into that workshop, they're like, oh my God, no way. I can't even think about what I'm doing. But when they do it and they leave knowing there's vacation that they haven't even booked, but they're going to do it, there's time off, they see their holidays blocked out, they're off when their kids are off. All of a sudden it was like, oh, there's 6 to 8 weeks on the schedule of like literal time off plus 3-day weekends. The feeling starts to become like, okay, I can do this. And then I hear sleep. Everyone always asks me how I do it. Sleep. I don't negotiate the sleep. I just can't. Exercise is getting there. Healthy eating is getting there, but sleep, you guys. I hear it all. I can sleep in 4 hours and I'll be fine. This girl needs 8 hours minimum. And when you stop negotiating your sleep time, I promise you it's going to help. But this is kind of like all together. You got to eat good. You got to have some type of exercise, even if it's just walking or strength training or playing pickleball. But you have to have adequate sleep. And most of us are on our phones at night, catching up. I've heard of people literally not even having a computer and working off of their phone. I'm like, because they're like, oh, the kids go to bed. I watch a show with my husband. Then I get on, like, I go to bed at 2 o'clock in the morning and then I'm up at 6. It's not going to work. And this is Yvette's favorite. Practice mindfulness techniques like meditation and journaling to reduce stress and stay focused. You want to say anything?
No, I think you did great. I want to have time for people to have comments. I'm just going to say real quick, if anybody is interested in like, what does that mean? Practice mindfulness and meditation or journaling, and they kind of want to know more, I'm here and I would love to share more on that. But I want to definitely get to where people can ask questions too.
Oh, look at Lori. I love it. I need to work on sleep because I don't get enough. Then I oversleep. And yes, the scrolling on the phone. Lori, when I tell you that I don't even use an alarm clock to wake up in the morning, it's the most beautiful thing in the world. But I don't negotiate it. And yes, there's going to be times where you go out, you have a good time, you're having happy hour, you're going out with your girlfriend, but it's scheduled. Like, I know the next morning I don't have a client, I don't have a workshop, I'm not driving to see, like, those days are over for us. We did that in the wedding industry, and then we carried that through for the first couple of years in our business, and I'm like, what are we doing? What are we doing? So sleep is a non-negotiable. It's game-changing. Again, even if you just did one of the 4. Yes. People think I'm crazy. Yeah, I'm like, I hated the feeling of being rushed in the morning. I hated the feeling of waking up to an alarm. And if it does go off by any crazy reason, it's this beautiful, like little chimey, like I don't even know what it is. I'll have to send it to you guys, but it's like so magical if I ever do not wake up to the sound of what I'm waking up to, because that makes such a difference of like, I gotta get up. So yes, it's a great way to do it, but you cannot negotiate your sleep.
Okay, I'm just gonna say real quick, and this isn't to Laura because this is really to myself. So Laura, I promise you, because I think this is everyone except for Gio. Our phones are a time sucker. They absolutely just suck the time away. And then this is what we do. Oh my God, I don't have any more time. Well, guess what? Your priority was the phone and not what you were, your intention and what you were doing. Again, it goes back to the motivation. So if you remind yourself of that motivation, the first thing in the morning, then your brain just automatically starts focusing on, okay, this is what I'm really wanting to do, not the time sucker. Because let's just be real, it just fills the void in the time, and then you realize 45 minutes to an hour later, oh my God, I'm behind, I need to go get dressed, I need to do it, and then you didn't do the things that you're supposed to. And there's a big E word that's attached to this, and again, I'm talking to myself because I do this. We make excuses as to why we're allowing the phone to be a time sucker for us. I'm just going to end there because let that meditate, because again, that's for me too. And I have to remind myself all the time, it's your choice, Yvette. Are you going to let this suck your time and then you're going to be mad at yourself? Or do you put it down or don't even touch it? And then 10 minutes from now, you're going to be like, I didn't need that thing. And look, now I'm jumped up and I'm doing the things that I want to be doing, not being sucked out of time.
She said you were definitely talking to her. We're talking to
I'm talking to me too.
a lot of our clients. And I'm not perfect with it, but I will tell you, there's non-negotiation times, and it's game changing. And I'm like, if I can do it for those times, then you can do it a little bit more and a little bit more and a little bit more. That's how I train my brain to wake up without an alarm. So a couple of examples, and then we're going to get into a Q&A. And then, so here we go. Self-care activities. It can be 10 minutes a day if 30 minutes is too much. Pre-planning snacks. I'm not a huge like meal eater, but definitely snacks. I have my big lunch like 11, between 11 and 12, and then eating dinner by 5, and then having snacks already done. You guys, Instacart, or however you do, if you don't want to go to the grocery store, just have the things that you love and have them ready for you, and then identify potential stressors and manage them effectively. Girl, we can do a whole nother workshop on boundaries, but this is like, you've got to establish the boundaries in your business for yourself and your business, and then make sure that any like working late, staying up on your phone, all those things, you got to stop. Sometimes, like, I promise you, Yvette, I will text Yvette like, hey, I'm having a really bad day. I started working. I'm just going to take the day off, because there's no point of putting that energy and that vibe into creating content or whatever, doing the follow-up, because it's going to literally be a ripple effect in the bad way. Okay. Let's reflect. Oh, do I have one more slide? Oh yeah, here we go. Last reflection. So based on all the reflections, it's the reflection of the reflection slides. What are the 3 actionable steps that you're going to take to move closer to your business goals? So again, based on what you heard today, and there's going to be a lot of people watching on the replay, and we are going to do our job and try to get everything answered by the end of this week, because we do have clients this week and stuff on our schedule, but we're going to carve out about 10 minutes each day to do the follow-up for you guys. But this is what the worksheets that were sent. You need to go through this workshop maybe a couple times, and then what are you going to do? We gave you some great tips. We gave you some great information, but what are you going to do? And then how are you going to prioritize these steps and make time? Okay, because you got to put time in your schedule. It's not going to happen overnight. You're not going to do this workshop and be like, nailed it. No, it doesn't work that way. And then what resources are you going to use to accomplish them? And then what support or resources do you need to implement daily? Because that's important to make sure that all this happens effectively. So I'm going to go to the slide again, because I added some more stuff here. Even though it's April and everybody's in a different season in their life, this is the slides that normally come up at the end of the year. All the holidays, the celebrations. The first one was kind of like everyday life, and this is kind of like your seasonal life. So it's a little bit heavier, right? So if you want to take the holidays off, if you want to travel during travel season in your area, you're going to have to pick and choose, use time very wisely, and reorganize all these relationships so they can be here. And notice how the phone is there. Yvette brought it up earlier. If you can just make a few changes, start with yourself, don't negotiate sleep. Sleep is important, and get off your phone. You've definitely you're getting ahead. And time block, yes, time block. No, we don't have the 8-hour days is gone. Like I don't know anybody in even 9 to 5s have gone to like 9 to 4s or like no one's doing 8-hour days. And if they are, I want to see their recap and what they're doing. Then they should be working like 3 days a week. But yes, time blocking is huge. Okay. So, and before we go there, we're gonna answer questions. I know we do have a lot of people on. And I know I'm gonna see Susan later today, but this is your Q&A time. And honestly, actually, let's do this part first and then we'll do the Q&A. We want to give you guys something because it's important that we're here. We gave you our time. So if you don't have a community, you're not sure where you want to go yet, and you're like, I love what Gio and Yvette are saying, we already have our beautiful community. It's for our clients and our soon-to-be clients and just our women, the women who just want to be part of something more beautiful. We do daily messaging. So for those of you guys who have done the Becoming Her and remember what daily messaging was, we've been doing it since January. Oh my God. Yes. So we are in month 4, Monday through Friday. We give you daily messages. You can see the message and you can write down the message. You hear the message. So we're using all your senses. So that at least every single morning, the first thing that you're doing is starting the date with you. We have discounted pricing on coaching. We have connections with like-minded women in our group. Our online platform is not on Facebook, so it's offline. It's in an app. You can jump on it anytime you want. You can get the notifications, take off the notifications. And then we have workshops like this one that are available for our memberships to go to our members so that they can go and pick and choose. Like our summer series last year was one of our biggest ones, and you can download the worksheets and you can listen to it at your own time. And we're there to answer any questions. So we want to extend that offer to you guys because we know it's important. The community is extremely important. And I know that the women that are here in Houston get to see us once a month. So not only do we have this online, we have experiences every single month where we get together and we don't talk about work. We don't talk about our kids. We don't talk about our spouses. We just talk about us. We have prompted conversations just around what dreams are and what it is to really just live a life of purpose. Did I miss anything?
No, you did great.
I love it. I love it. I missed this. Okay, so yes, we love our daily messages. And Brianna, thank you for having us on. We'll be making sure that in your group we go back and touch base with anybody who's watching the replay. And Lori, we would love to have you. You know that we would love to have you in our community, and we'll see you monthly too because you're here in Houston. So why wouldn't we see you? So what I'm going to leave you guys with is, well, we did Q&A already, but it's fine. And we can answer more questions because we still have 2 more minutes. This is our information, how to get a hold of us. Obviously, if you're watching on Facebook or watching on the replays, our information is there, but scan this. We can do a complimentary connection call too. So if you're like not sure where you're at in your business, where you're at in life, this is for you. It's actually one of our favorite things to do. You just get to sit and talk to us. We have an intake form and listen to yourself. We record it and then we send it back. Your homework is for you to watch yourself and listen to yourself, because sometimes you just don't even know what's in there because you don't give yourself the time to talk about it and write about it.
No, I think it's great, and I can't wait to hear all the comments from some of the other ladies and people that weren't able to be on here now but are going to watch the replay. Because again, just being able to reconnect on this platform and Brianna allowing us to be on here and being a part of it has been wonderful. So thank you.
Yes, and thank you to our clients who came in. I know we kind of streamed. We streamed in a couple different platforms because our clients wanted to get some of this information too. So thank you for being here. You know how to find us. We do have a podcast every week too, Redesigning Your Relationships. We go live every Wednesday. So if you want to just hear what's happening, we can see you there. And then just reach out if you have any questions. And yes, Susan, thank you for being on. I'll see you in a little bit. All right, everyone. Bye.